prime reason why I got myself into, and a bunch of our guys in the studio too, into this kind of situation is this all-new Canon EOS C400. Well, Canon is not new to video. They were into Pro DV, and they were primarily, singularly responsible for the DSLR cinema making revolution. You know about the 5D story. And subsequently, they probably were the first guys to launch a dedicated digital camera line early in the 2010s. Now, I'm not going to go into detailed technical specs. That's going to be a verbal diarrhea because this camera has a couple of pages full of really amazing technical specs. If that's what you are interested in it, well then there are many videos that you can watch. I will tell you about how I felt about using this camera and things that I really liked about this camera, and I'll share the footage that we shot in that limited amount of time that we have, or we had rather, with this camera and this amazing new RF lenses. This is the first RF mount cinema lens from Canon. This is the CN-RF. Okay. Well, Canon had sent 5 lenses to us, the 14, the 24, 35, 50 and the 85. We did not use the 14 because we were working in, very controlled indoors, so 14, no. These lenses were a real dream to work with. I mean, 1.3s and 1.5s and still holding on to so much of detail and depth and so low in contrast. I mean, I can go on and on about these lenses. But what I have to talk about is about this camera. Well, this is the first full-frame professional RF mount camera from Canon. Of course, you can argue that the R5C is capable, but this guy is into Pro series. Well, I have also worked with the C300, the C300 Mark II, and also the C70, which I think is a highly underrated camera. I don't know why it was not picked up to the extent that it should have picked up, and I really like that camera. Now, this guy takes that game a notch higher by launching a full-frame 6K internally raw recording RF mount camera, the first one in true professional league. It comes in a package. It has this amazing handle. All professional cameras in this range have a handle, and they have a touch screen. Now they have changed it into a USB connection, so it carries audio, video, sound, power, everything. So this is amazing. There are no multiple cables hanging out and things like that. So this is less messy. And now they have gone into a square format, which all professional cameras are slowly becoming, like a box camera. By no means this is a small camera, and by no means this is a light camera, but it kind of fits in, and made of metal, aluminum alloy. That's something which I like about it, because this is going to be used in all possible kind of conditions, whether it's going to be put to utmost test. And the plastic bodies, well, I've handled a few. You knock it around and the body will crack. And this one, not really. This one has a built to last feeling, and it has the new battery because it's got a lot of expandability, hence it's got more powerful battery. I'm not going to technical, the BPA30 and the 60 and the kind of power it can deliver, you know it. And it's got many of these Q20s to expand, and because everything including the handle which comes in the by the way, in the package, the original package, you get a handle which has all the controls available, and you get this top handle with the smart touch panel, which is a color panel. It's touch panel. You can pick the resolution, you can pick the format, you can pick the tons of codecs that it offers, and of course the tons of resolution that it offers too, and all can be recorded internally. So it takes a CF Express card, and along with it they also have an SD card. So while you are recording, let's say a 6K RAW, at the highest resolution, for which you can go only up to 60p, okay, you can actually record a low-res proxy. How about that? And you know how useful it is to get started with the edit. The 6K is a full frame readout. It also shoots 4K in UHD, during which you can shoot it in the codecs which are intra and long GOP. Now, they promise 120 FPS when you're shooting this at 4K UHD at 422 10-bit all intra. Well, it drops down to 60. Well, what else? The backlit panels, when you're shooting, especially in the dark, you have trouble looking at the, searching for the appropriate buttons. Now, these are backlited. This got a ton of buttons which can be programmed. There are some of them which are pre-programmed. There are more than one triggers, and and in case if you want to record outside, of course, you have an SDI option, you have an HDMI option. You dial the resolution that you want through that output or that protocol, and you get it. It is amazing. It also has a LAN port. It also can be powered externally. Well, I can go on and on and on. One interesting thing, well, we did not get time to kind of practice on that, is the amazing camera app which Canon has developed. Which means remotely you can hook on to more than one set of cameras, the C400s, and seamlessly trigger them, copy them, do a data transfer and the stuff. I'll add a link in the description, and if I get an opportunity to work with the C400 again, then I'll do a separate video for that app. So as you can see from the BTS, in the first instance, when we worked with the C400 and the CN-R lens, I used just two lights, two 200 watts lights, couple of ambient, practicals, and a thermocol to kick the light back onto the face. I set the camera at 5000K, and I kept the lights at tungsten, which is like 3850. I did not do any correction, and we shot the Canon Log 2 at XF AVC422 all intra at 4K, and this is what we got.
I see you struggle like butterflies in water, can't keep moving forward. I see your shoulders weighted down by armor. You don't need that protection. I will walk on glass, I will run 10,000 miles and more. I will give my eyes. If you lost your sight, I will run through fire. I will carry you through the heat. I will do it all again. If you needed me to, wish that I could take away your pain like sunbeams in the rain.
Now, the next interesting thing about the C400 is that it has an amazing improved autofocusing. Canon had sent the 1535. I did not use that because it was too wide on a full frame for us. I used our 24-70-2.8, which I'm sure lots of photographers and videographers already have. We shot the entire video in a bare. You take a look at this BTS, all handheld. Yeah, but this time I shot raw, HQ, okay, full resolution, and the 512 GB card said I can shoot about 37 minutes. Well, so it was heavy, but we also shot, of course, the proxies onto the SD, and that's what we are editing now. Well, again, a breeze. I mean, if you're a cinematographer, you know how cumbersome it is to add and remove an ND. It's like the full set has to come to a kind of a grinding halt. Somebody has to remove, clean, put an ND back, take readings and all that. Well, when you're working with this guy or these guys, the ND is available in the camera, okay? Right from 10 ND to 2 ND. Well, they are physical, NDs, which are going to be coming in front of the sensor. There is also a clear ND, and you have the works. So that makes your resetting to another light setup very, very easy. Now, you don't now require those cumbersome matte boxes. You can have a clip-on matte box with, let's say, a French flag, and you are ready to go. Besides taking, readings, light readings in the old-fashioned way, we were also keeping a close watch on the waveform. And trust me, all we had to do was to drag and drop the footage onto the timeline. When I checked the scope, I could see the right levels of black and ton of information from shadow to mid to the high that I can play with. This is a grader's dream. Usually, when you work with such big cameras, there are some, trade-offs. Like chances I thought were that the AF will be a little bit of doubtful, but this is an initial model. I am sure it will improve with firmware upgrades. So if you really want to upgrade, I think you should not be actually, if you're a cinematographer, videographer, well, you should not be buying another, let's say, an expensive hybrid camera. You should be buying a cinema camera. I seriously say that because there were a very clear distinction between a cinema camera and a still photography camera. For whatever reason, best known to the marketing man, they became together. There were DSLRs, there were mirrorlesses. Now you can see a trend where a serious cinematographer or a filmmaker now asking for a professional cinema camera. Okay, you have all those terminologies which you are, as a cinematographer, are familiar with. You have the shutter angle, you have the gain, you have the audio control, full audio controls here, you have phantom power. The list goes on and on. And like I said, this camera is going to be launched very soon in India. This is what you get in the box, a hand grip, a top handle, and the body. Besides those people whom Canon has targeted this camera to, like the music video producers, documentary filmmakers, OTTs, and live production programs and all that, this also has an amazing virtual production capability. So these lens data can be read through, it can be kind of sent across to your Unreal and all that. And in fact, that is a domain which is really exploding now. So this camera is actually ready to kind of do that. Hope you like this video. If you have, please like, subscribe and share. And I'll see you soon in another video. Bye for now.